Hey there, gang. As human beings, we're all looking for meaningfulness in life. But remember that true happiness is not attained through self-gratification, but through fidelity to a worthy purpose. Let's play some head games. Friends, opponents, robots, both shiny, new, and obsoletely fabulous, welcome to Head Games Arena. My name's Jetterex, and today we are searching for our purpose. And by that, of course, I mean we are playing Repurposing Bay. So this is an Izzet artifacts build, built around a combo finish that you find with Repurposing Bay. This has some similarities to Birthing Pot of old, but for artifacts. Pay 2, sack an artifact, dig through your library for an artifact that costs 1 mana more, put it onto the battlefield, activate only as a sorcery. So this allows us to get to this very, very wild combo finish of Boommobile and Radiant Lotus. So Boommobile is a 4 mana vehicle. When it enters, you make 4 mana of any color, but you have to use it towards an ability. And the exhaust ability down there says X2 in a red. This vehicle deals X damage to any target, also puts a counter on it, but the most important part, it's X damage to any target. So we are trying to generate a whole lot of mana, activate this exhaust ability, and kill our opponent in one shot. We do this with Radiant Lotus. If we have Boommobile and approximately 7 other artifacts in play, including the Radiant Lotus can sacrifice itself, all those other artifacts, and make Boommobile's ability big enough to one-shot our opponent. So that's the combo finish. The deck also plays a fairly decent mid-range game thanks to Simulacrum Synthesizer. So this 3 mana artifact scries 2 when it enters, but also when another artifact that costs 3 or more enters, you get a construct power and toughness equal to the artifacts you control. A couple of copies of this card and your board gets out of control very, very quickly. So game plan is early game, play some ramp like the Enigma Jewel, control the board with Chainsaw, Legion Extruder, and some Torch the Towers, Collector's Vault, and Maze Mind Tome to draw us some cards, get us into that middle game. Simulacrum Synthesizer, Thran Spider, clog up the board in the middle of the game, and either overwhelm our opponent with constructs or get to the Radiant Lotus and Boommobile combo. I think you'll find that this deck can win seemingly out of nowhere on a board that doesn't look that threatening. And when it does, it's incredibly satisfying. Before we head over to the racetrack, I'd like to remind everybody to please like, subscribe, leave comments, tell your friends about Head Games, anything you can do to help us boost the channel. We deeply appreciate you all so much. Without further stalling for time, let's play some Head Games. Burger King! It's a wonderful restaurant. Okay, we have early interaction, a card draw spell, the best card in the deck. Let's do it. It certainly is. Okay, I don't care about Leyline of the Void that much. I'm not doing any graveyard shenanigans. Okay. Bat gets torched. Now you get to see my hand. Good for you. Okay, so we definitely, even though it's the card we drew, we play Spire Bluff Canal so that it comes in untapped, and we're going to start with Maze Mind Tome. We'll put a stop on their end step so that I can scry. Our opponent's deck is going to have a lot of interaction, and it's going to have a very hard time interacting with what we are doing. I'm going to put the vault on the bottom. Okay, island for us, Simulacrum Synthesizer, Scry 2, Memory Guardian definitely stays on top. Do we need the Enigma Jewel this late? I'm gonna take it. So I really want the Memory Guardian next turn. I actually think the Jewel goes to the bottom. Yep. And from there we just pass. Since we know what is on top now, it doesn't benefit us to scry with the tome, but our opponent's deck is probably just nerfed by what we are doing, which feels very good for us. We're going to play the land they know about, and I'm very tempted to do nothing. We could draw now. Let's draw now. Fine by me. Go right ahead, friend. Okay. Thrawn Spider is a terrific draw. Verge. Spider. And then Memory Guardian. Now we've got a board. They're probably playing with a fair amount of Edict's effect. Too much! The Lost Prussian. Well, I'm very glad that we found you, friend. We've been looking for you for such a long time. Okay, interaction into repurposing bay. Combo piece in hand. I think you'll find as you watch these games that while this is a combo deck, it almost always wins with Simulacrum Synthesizer. So, yeah, this is a keepable hand. And we're on the play, which I was not paying attention to. Blue, to confuse our opponent while we look at their sleeves. That's sweet. Okay. Blue-white can mean a lot of things, so we're not going to make any assumptions yet. We don't know. And they put a land in their graveyard, which doesn't help us understand what they're doing at all. We will play an Enigma Jewel, which enters the battlefield tapped. Our opponent's thinking very hard about their turn 2 play. It's an island and nothing. Okay, so they don't have a removal spell for that. Okay, so we pay 3 and play our first repurposing bay and draw out our first counter? There it is. Okay, so probably control. Well, they gave us the window. What can I get for 2 that's going to be really impactful against them? Card draw, probably, right? Okay, so... Well, because we have the window right now to cast the repurposing bay and sacrifice the Enigma Jewel. So we get a 2 mana... And I do think we do that. I do think that makes the most sense. We're going to sacrifice the Enigma Jewel, and we're going to get a 2 mana card, which I believe is going to be Maze Mind Tome. And then we'll say go. Here's where we find out if our, like, pod build is good enough. Control is going to be very tough for us. Alright, we're going to take the Scry because we want to draw a land, I think. I don't think we want a Collector's Vault. Okay, so now we take the land. This is tricky. Okay. So, very possible. I don't think this deck plays with Tishana's Tidebinder in the main. Here's where we're gonna find out, right? Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play Chainsaw. And then I'm gonna try to pod the Chainsaw. For those not in the know. Okay. For those not in the know, Birthing Pod was an old artifact that allowed you to sacrifice creatures and search for a slightly bigger creature, and Repurposing Bay is an artifact that allows you to sacrifice an artifact and dig for a slightly bigger artifact. Okay, so our opponent's stocking up again. What's very interesting is that this control deck is almost entirely built on the back of how good this card actually is. So, for those who don't know, Divination, 2 and a blue is just draw 2 cards. This is demonstrably better than that. So instead of drawing the top 2, whatever they are, you look at the top 5 and pick the best 2 out of them. It's just a remarkably better card. And it was seeing play in older formats. Are they, like, waiting to react to what I'm doing? It's very interesting. Okay. Land for turn. We'll try to chainsaw again. Okay. Then we're going to pod the chainsaw, because it's completely useless. And we're going to get a Simulacrum Synthesizer. That's going to scry 2 cards. We're going to leave Thran Spider on the top, because it makes tokens, makes a guy with Synthesizer. Okay. So, again, I think what we're really trying to do here is get the combo kill. So we need to start playing like a combo deck, which I'm bad at. So this does nothing. This is a 4/5 body. That is a 4/5 body. You have it, my friend. Okay, we're drawing a card. We're drawing another card. That's very good. Let's play Thran Spider. Makes Memory Guardian cost 1. Okay, so I have a blocker now. They could probably kill it. We draw one more card with Maze Mind Tome. I'm trying to decide whether playing Memory Garden is worth it, or Memory Guardian is worth it at this point. Because they're gonna board wipe. They've certainly got one in hand, so it's really just it's gonna wipe us at this point. So if I cast Memory Guardian and it resolves, I can also sacrifice it to get the other Radiant Lotus out of my deck, which might be the way to go. Okay, let's cast it. Okay. Okay. Now we're going to repurpose our Guardian into a Radiant Lotus, making yet another guy. Now we're like drastically incentivizing our opponent to play a board wipe. Get Lost is not as good as our opponent thinks it is. Question is, which board wipe do they play? Temporary lockdown. What does that get? It gets all of my guys, and all of my tokens. Okay, so we'll scry. That's a very good play for our opponent. I don't think we want to land. Very good play for our opponent. What's funny is that they get almost no... they get almost nothing out of it. Or they get, there's nothing under it. It's all tokens. Okay. Thran Spider is a terrific draw. Now I understand why they played Get Lost with such abandon. So I'm going to pod the Thran Spider. Into a Boommobile. Do I have enough? Let's find out. Do I have enough to sling 20 at their head? I have exactly enough to sling 20 at your head. What can you do? Can you gain life at instant speed? I've never played this deck before. I have no idea if this is going to work. Victory! Camillo geek? What kind of a geek is a Camillo? Why don't I know about this geekdom? I feel like my cred is lacking. So listen, we've seen the synthesizer win, we've seen the combo win. I feel like everything else that we get today is just icing at this point. This has got interaction in it. If I draw a single mana source, we're cooking. So mono red is exactly what I want to see. So this is where it's tricky. I think I go ahead and destroy this now. I really do think that there's a part of me that wants to wait because maybe they play the 2-drop, but if I don't play the removal now, maybe they swing first and don't play the 2-drop. Here's a Hired Claw. That's fine. Chainsaw takes that out. Spire Bluff is a great draw. Means I have to stop taking damage. Let's see if they have something that stops this from dying. I don't think there is. So, Repurposing Bay. Screaming Nemesis is very bad for us. I don't gain life, so I'm not super worried about that. Okay, so this is probably good. Let's do this. Thran Spider's not blocking the Screaming Nemesis, but Emberheart Challenger. Okay, so if they have Monstrous Rage or anything that pumps the toughness of Emberheart, my creature dies. They wouldn't have attacked if they didn't have it, right? So let's call the bluff. It's not a bluff. They have it. Yep. Because they always have it. Yep. This is what happens when you play against mono red. Chances are you just lose to it. Alright. This doesn't allow me to do anything, really. So, Enigma Jewel for nothing. Memory Guardian for 2. And then we say go, and we see what our opponent has left in the tank. Mouse is so good. Okay. So they give it double strike, and if they have a pump spell, I'm just dead? Yep. They've got it. Yeah. Good game. We're gonna duck out. We're not gonna play the rest of that. Ooh, kudos to you, 13. Don't have any of that Triskaidekaphobia at all, do you? Okay, Enigma Jewel, Thran Spider, Chainsaw. Those are the cards in my hand, and therefore I can keep this. Alright, Sleight of Hand with the blue-green land means we're playing against beans. We're playing against the blue-green beanstalk deck, so we have to go combo kill with this deck. Sleight of Hand again for our opponent. I'm tempted to deploy the Chainsaw because I don't think it does anything against this deck. I don't think it has a single target. That is amazing. Collector's Vault makes this hand do stuff. Up the Beanstalk for our opponent. Draws a card. How are we doing over here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They miss a land drop. Activate Collector's Vault. Easy toss of the Chainsaw. Boy, I think we can get there. Okay. So, we go 3 mana. Do I give them a Power Stone? Can they use a Power Stone? I don't think that they can. And the fact that it gives me another token makes this whole thing go off way faster. Yeah, Thran Spider. Go ahead. Honestly, the first Synthesizer token's going to be wicked big. Bushwhack digs for a land. I'm sure our opponent is unhappy with that. Second land for them. They have the tap creature in their hand, or are they going to give us some terror? Yep, there's the terror. Draws our opponent a card. The whole, if you haven't seen this opponent's deck, it's a Simic deck built around getting a whole bunch of instants and sorceries into your graveyard. It makes Tolarian Serpent way easier to cast, but this Tolarian's Terror also triggers up the Beanstalk, so you draw more cards. We're gonna loot. This is tough because I really want the other Thran Spider, but it's the worst card in my hand right now. Okay, now we've got a land to toss. Okay, so Shivan Reef. I should have played the tap land. Ugh. Should have played the tap land. I don't think I can get out from underneath this now. I'm gonna get both of these cards, and I want both of them. So I think we're good there. I don't know what they're holding. I'm curious. Well, because I'm always going to call it Solemn Simulacrum. Okay? Always. That's not what it is. It's not a sad robot. It's actually a sad robot maker. A sad robot maker. Is that Roomba? Storm Chaser's talent is an interesting choice. They're being very smart now. Yeah, that's fine. I'm just going to take the first 5. Okay. Well, they have to leave up mana, because if they don't, I'm absolutely going to dunk on them. If they tap out, this game is over. Okay. Let's go for the second Synthesizer and see if they've got a counterspell. Bet they do. What did you bounce? I do not understand these choices. We're going to leave that land on top. Play the River Pyre. Why did they do that? So it may make sense for me to Boommobile this turn. I don't have anything to do with the mana if I do that, but it does make me 2 more guys, which is going to be a huge pain in the butt for them to deal with. I could also just Radiant Lotus. I think I kind of like that. Let's get the Radiant Lotus down. No attacks. I probably could have attacked there, but I don't need to. Because they're in trouble. Like, their deck is built around putting these giant creatures on board, and yes, they can bounce my guys, but it's just not actually going to matter. Yep. Tap out. Tap out. Tap out. You can do it. You know you want to. You kinda have to. You got it. Okay, so trying to decide. I want the treasure more than I want the land. So I will draw and pitch this. I just have to be careful because I can misclick and mess up this combo real easy. That is bananas. Okay, super easy now. Memory Guardian. Trigger, trigger, trigger. And then Boommobile. Trigger, 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 trigger. Make red mana. And then targeting ourself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 creatures. Make lots of red mana. That's going to be 37. Bam! The Kyo core. The part of your core that cares about how many keys you've eaten. I need a third land, but I have 2 early game removal spells, so if I'm playing against aggro on the draw, I'm probably okay. Because Riverspire Verge gives you red and not blue. We'll keep this. I'm just never going to be happy with... And I understand that the colors are in an order based on that original Wooburg format. Okay, that's fine by me. I will play a Spire Bluff Canal to show them our colors. Well, doesn't matter which land I would have played. It would have showed them our colors no matter what. Cool. Now we'll play Riverspire Verge. Our opponent's on that mono blue life. We're probably in trouble. Okay, so we'll play a third land and we'll try to resolve Thran Spider. How do you feel about Thran Spider? Is that a counterable offense? There you go. How about an Enigma Jewel? How do you feel about that? Is that a counterable offense? It's not. Enigma Jewels may be a little rubbish. It really is. I burned so many wild cards making Enigma Jewels. I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, when it's good, it's very good. When it's bad, it's awful. Alright, we're going to try to resolve Repurposing Bay. Right into a counter. You go for it, friend. Go for it. You got it. 3 Torch the Towers in our hand against a deck that plays very few lands. So here's where I have to try to resolve Simulacrum Synthesizer, and I just know that it's gonna get countered. But I don't have another play. Chainsaw does very little here. 3rd counterspell? There you go. This is riveting magic right here, isn't it? Oh, crab time. Cool. Was really hoping that I would draw... land there. So we'll take out one of their threats. This allows me to sacrifice an artifact, right? Okay, so I can take out the Eddy Merc Crab next turn. That's really cool. What was that thing that I exiled? I've never really looked at this card all that well. Power and toughness equal to islands. Woo! Woo! That's a lot of cards for our opponent. Okay. So we... So I'm conflicted because it feels a lot like I just lose now. They just drew 5 cards and we are on the back foot. I have to take the turn off to kill that Eddy Merc crab, and it's probably not going to be good enough for us to not lose at this point. It feels hopeless, so do I just kill the crab? I'm gonna follow the only line that gets us more turns. I will take a land on the top. But they have 6 mana available and a grip, a full grip. 7 mana, 6 cards. Haughty Djinn. I've already deployed all of my removal. I will play a land and play this very sad Simulacrum Synthesizer right into a counterspell. No? Okay. Well, it doesn't matter. I actually still lose. So, repurposing Bay. Yeah. There is no hope. So our opponent just needs to get enough cards into the graveyard to kill me. They should be able to. If they've got 3 steps, another Djinn. Can you discard some cards? Do you have a 3 steps ahead in your hand? Because you just win. I love how well our opponent is playing. I am going to concede. I believe wholeheartedly our opponent could have won there. Ernst 79. Earnest. It's important. It's important to be earnest. We're on the play. We have awkward mana, but we've got a removal spell, some card draw, and some of the best cards in the game. Let's go for it. We're going to draw a land. That's what we're going to do. We're going to draw an island off the top right now. That's not an island off the top. We will play Maze Mind Tome and say go for our opponent. Artist talent for our opponent. They're on some discard shenanigans. I can't wait to see it. No Torch the Tower for us. There's our 3rd land. We're going to play Simulacrum Synthesizer. Honestly, we need to draw lands. I don't think any of... We need to draw lands. That's what's about to happen. Okay, 3 mana for our opponent. Activate to Artist Talent level 2. Listen, it's really, really, really like tempting, but I don't think it's right. Alright, repurposing Bay. Make a dude. Pass our turn. I'm like really nervous about what our opponent's about to do to us. All their spells are cheaper now. Like, we are scrying for our lives. Yeah, alright. What else does this do? Oh, draw ditch. Okay, so this is like a dedicated draw ditch deck. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. That can, I mean, I understand why you would want to kill that, because it's going to get very big and very scary this turn. Final Scry is also a non-land card. Land, please. Thank you. Okay, now we can do stuff. So let's play our land for turn. Let's repurpose our Maze Mind Tome into another Synthesizer. We're going to leave the land on top. We do not need the chainsaw. And then we are going to play this Memory Guardian, triggering Synthesizer 2 more times, and give our opponent something very difficult to deal with. Lethal threat on board. Board wipe? Be very cool. Because they really... Yeah. Oh, sweet, sweet, sweet Jesus. Did they play the collect evidence? They didn't. Because they couldn't. I gotta tell ya, that's just hilarious. Okay. Alright, so we Boommobile. What do I have that's 5? I have the I have the Guardian, right? I really feel like that's what we do. We get a Guardian, we trigger 2 more times, and see if you've got another board wipe. Do you have another one? Tell me you do. Make my heart glad. Oh no. Oh my god! Oh my god, does that just destroy me? Oh my god! What is that? What is that? Who plays with Brotherhood's End? Wow. Just clowning us. Just clowning us. I cannot believe that they had 3 board wipes in their hand. Sure.
When I win, you're telling me what you know about the
Yeah.
Drop
It's
it.
okay. This chainsaw doesn't do anything against their deck, so. Wow. So at this point, it's going to be very difficult for us to compete with Lily. Okay. So here's Thran Spider. I'm very tempted to get Repurposing Bay down as well. I don't know what it does for us at this point. But, actually, if I don't play it, she's just going to make me discard it anyway. So, let's get the Repurposing Bay down. I'm very curious to know what their last card is. Tell me it's a Braid. Tell me that your deck is just purposefully built to destroy ours. Yeah, Brotherhood's End, a Braid. Yeah, yeah. Good game. Doom. E. It is a little doomy in here. Have you checked your Doom lately? Turn 1 Enigma Jewel into Collector's Vault as a playable hand. I don't have any red mana, but I am on the draw, and I will be able to create some with Collector's Vault. So as long as we don't face hand disruption, this hand can get where we need it to go. happier with Chainsaw than I should be. White-red, they're on that aggro plan. Okay, so they're on that start their engines plan. Okay, Enigma Jewel for us. Okay, Jeskai, is it Jeskai go wide? Okay. 2 start your engines for your opponent. Do you have a turn 2 play? Okay, you do not. We will play the Verge. I don't think we're gonna bother killing the nesting bot because I don't think it really matters. I need to dig, as Jeff Probst would say. You have got to dig. He's right. He's right. And if you don't get that joke, I don't know if we can be friends. See, go wide. This deck does not have any board wipes in it, and there's no reason for it not to have the unexpected explosives, or that's not the name of the card. Something explosives. Ill-timed. Okay, so you just want to get the pump. That's fine. 3 damage for us. 3 speed for our opponent. And now they're going to blow up their nesting bot? No, they're going to Warden of the Inner Sky, but they can't do anything with it. Okay. Time for us to activate Collector's Vault. We're going to pitch this other Enigma Jewel because it does nothing right now. Okay, so what do I take out? I get to take out 2 things. Am I going to double Chainsaw, or am I going to extrude and Chainsaw? Yeah, it doesn't actually matter how it taps because I'm going to use the treasure. So Chainsaw first. Chainsaw gets rid of Warden. Extruder gets rid of Resolute Reinforcements. And we will say go. That is at instant speed, so I can trick them. And I plan to. Spyglass Siren is okay. What else we got? Knight. That's tough. It's a very, very good play for them. So I don't know that we extrude anymore now. I think we probably loot. That's interesting. I mean, I'm going to pitch the land, right? Well, because I won all of these other cards, so... Okay. There's a land. We're gonna play this. We will Chainsaw the Flyer. We will play a Memory Guardian for 1. And we will pass our turn. It might have made sense for me to equip there so I could threaten the knight. Our opponent's not having a very good draw with this deck. The bunny corn's going to be very difficult for me to deal with, no question. I don't fully understand this choice. Okay, I'm going to sacrifice this Chainsaw. And double block the 5/4. Okay. Yep. So I don't think it's worth it to loot. Okay. Okay. So that's got Ward of 2. So I need to generate 6 mana with Boommobile. I think I can. Maybe not. Tricky. So this isn't activating an ability, it's paying for an ability. So I don't think I can use Enigma Jewel for that. So I think I just have to say go. I don't like that, but I think it is what I have to do. Because I need to be able to pay the ward with actual mana. That's fine. Gonna make it a little bigger now. Do they have another one? That ruins it. If they have another Sheltered by Ghosts, I'm pretty sure that's it. I feel like they're trying to decide, do they play the second Bunnycorn? Or not second Bunnycorn, but do they play the Bunnycorn versus do they put another counter on Spyglass Siren? Okay. We're okay with this choice. Yep. I think we do block the nesting bot. Because I don't need... Hold on. I can't just win, right? Okay, so... If I loot away a card, I have enough to cast Radiant Lotus, but I lose both of those. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 mana. 4 down, 4 up. So no. No, I do not have enough. So I think I actually just have to take this. Does that change anything? I don't think that it does. I also am still not entirely sure that I have enough. I think I do. Oh boy. Okay. Extruder kills the token. I probably still die. Because now all they have to do... Now all they have to do is remove my 3/3. Let's see if they've got it. Do you have 2 removal spells? If they do, they deserve it. Like, okay. Second Bunnycorn for the win. Oh, we're taking that trade all day. So, we will play our land, play Simulacrum Synthesizer. This is interesting. I don't need another collector's vault. I do want the torch the tower. Does that do it? Surprisingly, I think I can live. It is my go. Thank you for noticing. Okay. Pitching the Radiant Lotus. What am I sacrificing? I think the Enigma Jewel has done everything that it's going to, so I think that it's probably that. Okay. Torch to the tower and the nesting bot. Block the bunny corn, take 4. Oh, this game. Dead bunny corn. Oh, sweet Jesus, dead bunny corn. Thran spider. We could still die at a moment's notice. Very easy for us to die. Resolute reinforcement. Extruder makes a 3/3. And now I don't have the mana to cast this. Oh, what an amazing turn of events. Okay. Equip the spider, I guess? I think we have to hold because we need to not allow them to go any wider. Listen, everybody's drawing like kings right now. This game. What do you got? Gleeful Demolition? Okay. Very interesting for us. Radiant Lotus. Make a 10/10. So I can turn that treasure into 3 mana at instant speed. So I think I have to get ahead of them. I can't actually start attacking until I get ahead of them, which is not happening. Beautiful for our opponent. Very good. You got one more? What am I doing? No. Nope. Okay, can I win? I think maybe I can. Okay, there's one Boommobile in our graveyard, nothing in our exile zone. We have to be very careful. Repurposing Bay. Makes another dude. I've got it. Sacrifice the Thran Spider. Get the other Boommobile. Make red mana. Activate Radiant Lotus, targeting ourselves. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All red. That's 28. Yes! All right, friends and opponents, how did we do today? Middly record for this deck, 4-3 on camera. Big swingy wins, big swingy losses. I found several times wanting to have a sweeper, and in the interest of full disclosure, I did not brew this deck. I definitely pulled somebody else's lists, made a couple of adjustments based on the cards that I actually own, because I didn't necessarily want to burn a bunch of Mythic Wild cards, although I did burn a bunch of Mythic Wild cards on this Enigma Jewel. I'm not entirely sold on it. I think I could have gotten away with less copies of this card, so not particularly happy with its performance, although when it works, it is very good with Collector's Vault. It is very good with Maze Mind Tome, so I can see why it is in the deck. So we saw some fantastic combo finishes in the gameplay today. Sometimes it's really hard to do the math because it is a little complicated having the 2 in the red and the cost, and the Radiant Lotus making it in multiples of 3. Really, there were probably times where I could have squeezed out a win with a little bit of less effort, but it just gets a little bit complicated when you're playing a combo of this style. Overall, should you craft this deck? I'd advise against it, actually. It's a hard combo to get your head around, and without really having a good plan for controlling the mid game, it might be fairly easy to make mistakes and end up losing as a result. So Simulacrum Synthesizer is obviously an all-star. This card is super good. Is this the best deck for it? I don't know. There's probably an artifacts build built around affinity for artifacts that might be a little bit better than this. But that combo, one-shotting people with Boommobile got me an achievement today, and is also just a pretty extraordinary amount of fun. So that is all we have for this week. Thank you so much for tuning in, for your continued support. Remember, take care of your friends, take care of your family, but most importantly, take care of your head.